Now, as Prime Minister, as you alluded to earlier, there are investigations of you now in Israel. It seems to be a popular sport, a lot going on there. What can you say about it, and is it detracting from your ability to serve as Prime Minister?
Well, I can't say that I like it, but no, I could say that it doesn't detract because I work my 16-hour days and I just do it, and I'm absolutely committed to defending Israel, liberating its economy, and these twin pursuits and seeking what could lead to peace between our neighbors. And my hands are full, and I'm very, very satisfied with what I do. And the public apparently thinks that because you can see what the public says.
And now you've been the longest serving Prime Minister since David Ben-Gurion. He's the only one who served longer than you. Is this job as exciting as you once thought? And what's the pleasure of being Prime Minister?
Oh, investigations.
By the way, you met with President Trump, and I noticed you're wearing a kind of red tie that he often wears. Is that something he gave you as a gift, or that was looks like very much like a Trump tie? But I don't know. Very nice.
That could be investigated too, so I won't answer.
Okay. Right, so some people in Israel say that maybe you should call for a so-called snap election and have an election, and you would be reelected. Some
you
people
too,
say.
David?
Well, do you have a view on whether you might call a snap election that you can say?
I said, and I'm talking to on and off to my coalition partners from here. What I want is to be able to complete the term of this government, which is in about November 19th. And if all parties of this coalition, talked about coalitions, agree, that's what we do. And if not, then we'll go to elections now.
Okay.
I hope they'll agree. We'll see. And Iran, since the deal has been signed, has been like a tiger unleashed from its cage. The deal emboldened it, enriched it, and instead of joining the community of nations, they're just devouring the nations, one after the other. Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Gaza, Yemen, the Straits. I mean, the whole thing is going in a very, very bad direction, and you should not enable this aggressive regime out to conquer the Middle East, out to impose its Shiite version of militant Islam on the world, to have nuclear weapons. You think you have a problem with one country now in Asia, I'm telling you, that's a family business. Peculiar one, but a family business. This is different. This is, as Kissinger said, this is an ideology. It's a cause, it's not a country. And the cause is a bad one. We're the small Satan, you're the great Satan. You don't want the preeminent terrorist sponsoring regime in the world to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to Washington, D.C. Don't let it happen.
So if the United States does withdraw, which is what you're recommending, and Iran continues its terrorist practices, what are you going to do, or what would the United States do about it? What would you be able to do?
If the United States withdraws, I think that the Iranian economy would be in a very, very bad shape. The mere fact that President Trump began to talk about the possibility of withdrawal just stopped a lot of investments in Iran. And that created tremors within Iran. You can see that in the periodic eruptions of demonstrations. I mean, I could see that in a very peculiar way. I do these videos I speak to the Iranian people because they're great people. They've just been commandeered, they've been hijacked by this people. And I get the response I got tremendous response with names of Iranians. And I said to my intel people, and this is just a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, I said, how is it possible that they're responding on the net with their names? They're Iranians. They're putting their lives on the line. Iranians are responding positively to a video by an Israeli prime minister identifying themselves. A week later, this stuff broke out. So there's underlying tension. The fact that the fact that you're limiting the money is creating tensions for the regimes inside, and the regime is very concerned with that, very preoccupied with that, which means that those who said that if you squeeze Iran economically, you're going to help the radicals and hurt the moderates, the very opposite is happening. And we should continue to do that. I think Iran should know that it doesn't have a free pass to a nuclear arsenal and to the conquest of the Middle East. The only way you can do that is either fully fix the deal or fully nix it. Without the activities that we did in many, many areas, I think Iran would have had nuclear weapons long ago.
So
they're not going to get them. We're not going to let them.